All right, folks, real quick. Hello, it's me. I'm going to talk about this. All right, what this is just a calculation of the last 2 hours before the millennial reign of Christ. All I'm doing is calculating from the day Israel became a nation, which was May 14th, 1948 at midnight. Okay, and then we're talking about a prophetical day. Jesus said you're in the last days. So from the moment he left, we were in the last 2 days, because Messiah is going to be cut off for 2 days or 2,000 years. So 1 day equals 1,000 years. Okay, so the last 1,000 years is the last day. So we divide that by 24, quote, hours, right? That equals 41.66 years per prophetic hour. So an Enoch year is 360 days per year. No quarter days, not 365, not 366, 364 for eternity. It says that is 12 30-day months. Every month is 12 months. Every 3 months there is a seasonal day, which is based on the equinoxes and the solstices, okay? So you got 3 months, equinox, 3 months, solstice, 3 months, equinox, 3 months, solstice. Okay, so from midnight of May 14th, 1948, according to the hour calculation, there is 83.33 years before the return of Christ. All right, so 83 years plus 1948. So we got from midnight of the 14th plus 2031 plus a 33, right? A third of a year. So 1/3 of a year times an Enoch year times 364 days is 121.33 days. So, but we're mixing up old calendar and Enoch calendar. And you can't do that because I'm going to show you why. All right, so you've got 883.33 years, okay, based on this calculation here. 2 hours from May 14th, okay, is 83. And you say, why did you do it 2 hours? Because if you add 1 hour, we're already past that date. So we know it can't be, that wasn't the last hour. We got at least one more. So we add another hour and see where we're at. And that's where I'm coming up with the last 2 hours. Potentially. I'm not quoting nothing that I know anything. I'm just showing you the math. So 83.33 years times these two numbers equals these two numbers. That's a difference of 104 and a sixth of a day difference, okay? So what we're going to do, we got two sides here, right? There's got a modern calendar. We got Enoch calendar calculation. So the modern calendar, it's easy. You add 83 days of May 14th, 1948, and you get 2031 of May 14th, right? And then you got to add 0.33 years. So according to this right here, 0.33 years on a modern calendar of 365.25 days is 121.75 days. Now between this date and this date is a difference of 17. The difference of the differential is 17. Over here, the difference is 17.16. So we go out 121 days from May 14th. Using the modern calendar, we're going to get to September 12th at 6 p.m. Okay, I didn't write that down, so I'm going to write that down now. Equals September 12th, 2031. What did I say? 6 p.m. I got the 6 p.m. based on this right here because we're starting at midnight. Okay, that's our countdown number, is midnight. So we don't have to worry about the evening started at 6 p.m., but this is interesting. Boom. Okay, so there we go. We got a 6 p.m. there. Now, let's look at this side of things. So we know that if these hours mean anything, right, that we've calculated here, we know that there are now 83.33 years times 364 Enoch days, or Enoch years. We'll just do this because I have it like this everywhere else. Enoch time. Okay, is 30,333.33 days until the end of those 2 years, which are 2 hours, which I'm saying if they're the last hours would be when Christ returns. So now we're going to take 30,000 days from May 14th, 1948 is going to equal May 14th, 2031 minus the difference of the differential. So here's what we got going on. We've got May 14th, 2031 minus, because we had to take this number and divide it by 365, okay? And that got us 83 years. See here, this number divided by 365 got us 83 years. Now this is modern calculation, right? So that we can go from here plus 83 years plus 17.5833 days. So now we're going to come over here, May 14th, 2031, 83 years later, plus 17.5833 days. So we go May 14th, open the calendar, add 17 days. June 1st is the answer. Take 5.833, multiply it by 24, you get 14 hours. Multiply it by 18, Enoch time is 10.5 parts. Either way, 14. Army time, 2 p.m. Okay, so from Israel becoming a nation, May 14th, 1948 at midnight, adding 333.33 days equals June 1st, 2 p.m., 2031. So that's where we come to this timeline right here. This timeline is showing you the difference, which I'm not finished with it yet, but it's showing you the difference between the Enoch year timeline and the modern calendar timeline. So we already did this right here. We showed you that 83.33 years would end up being September 12th, 2031. At 6 p.m. Okay, so now if you look up here, you're going to see the Enoch timeline, because we did the math this way, based off of this, June 1st, 2023 at 2 p.m. Okay, and that's the difference of this many days right there. So we put the return of Christ here. And then we know that the Bible says that there's going to be a covenant for 1 week. So we have a 7-year covenant. This whole thing. 7 years in Enoch time is 2,548 days. 7 years in modern calendar time is 2,556.75 days. So what we need to figure out is from June 1st, 2031, 2,548 days. So we take 2,548 days and we divide it by our calendar, how it's divided, the modern calendar, and we get 6.97 years. So we go back, all right, so minus the 6 gives us 97 years times 9, this number here, times 365 gives us 356.5 days. Okay, so you subtract that from 365.25 and you get 8.74 days difference. So it's almost 7 years. And see, that's the difference, because the timeline is tricking you. So if you start your preparation date 7 years based on this timeline, it's going to be different, right? I mean, we're already starting at the number being different. So then you go back 7 years different, and you're going to be saying that the peace treaty will start September 12th, 2024. Okay? Just straight up 7 years back at 6 p.m. All right, so, but up here we have to calculate based on Enoch years, because our Enoch numbers are a prophetic content. So we can't be, Enoch is not going to be talking about And the Bible's not going to be talking about a modern calendar. He's letting us know we're still, when it talks about the 1,260 days, 42 months, he's letting us know, don't be going by this calendar over here, the 365. Don't be going by that, because this is a biblical calendar number. All right. Enoch says that there's 1,260 days a year plus the 4 seasonal days that occur between 30-day months. And they don't really count them as part of the month. So we're going to go back 2,548 days. We're going to do that by dividing by 365. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back 7 years on the calendar date from here, June 1st, back to June 1st, 2031. So then, where's that at? And then that ends up being May 24th is minus the 8 days, okay? See what we got? This is the difference. So it's 7 full years minus 8 days. So it's not a whole 8. So we take that and we go back 8 days, which is May 24th. And then we have to minus this much of another day. So then we find out that this much of another day is 17.99 hours, right? But if we go back that many 8 days, you got to remember, this began at 2 p.m. Where's the numbers at? Or 14 hours. So we got to take 14 off of this, right? And then that equals 3.99.616 off of May 23rd. So you do that, and you end up at May 23rd, 9:59:97, right before 10 o'clock, a peace treaty. Now, I am not claiming that this is what it is, okay? All I'm saying is that I hear people saying we're in the last days of the last days. So whenever I hear that, I'm thinking that ain't how the Bible talks, okay? We're in the last hour, and then there is a day of the Lord, okay? And a day of the Lord is a time when he actually comes and does what he's going to do on that day, okay? All the different things that we ain't going into right now. What I'm showing you this for is because if we are in the last hour of the last day, and God has given us these numbers that we can use to calculate, everybody says that it says no one can know it, no one will know it. Read it again. It says no one does know it except the Father. Okay, but he says that it's not going to overtake us in that generation at that time like a thief in the night. Because we have stuff to read. We have John's revelations. We have prophecies in the Old Testament that don't make sense to anybody else. We have numbers from the book of Enoch, the 6th man from Adam, Noah's grandfather, who was called the scribe of righteousness and was a prophet and walked so close to God that God just took him. And I believe he's personally going to be one of the prophets in the end times. So what I'm getting at is you take that kind of clout with Enoch and you take this kind of clout with the Bible, and I'm not doing nothing but math. And we got Jesus coming back somewhere around there. And we got a peace treaty somewhere around here. Now, I made a video before, and I just did the quick math using our calendar, and I put out that it was somewhere in September. All right, so I'm redoing this because I know I did the quick math, and I honestly don't remember if I said that. But the Enoch math of this is May 23rd, 2024. Now, when I put that other one out, they were not at war. Matter of fact, Netanyahu, I was just watching right before the war, Netanyahu saying, peace, peace, peace. We're making peace with Syria. That's going to open the door for other Islamic nations to make peace with Israel. Okay? Peace, peace, sudden destruction. All right, well, okay, now this right here is very potential. You can't have a peace treaty if you don't have war. So I'm not saying that this is correct. I'm not saying that Jesus is coming back then, and I'm not saying that this is when the peace treaty is going to happen. What I am saying is that we are in the last hour of the last day. Jesus said he's going to return. Prophecy dates it as 2 days, 2,000 years from when he left. Okay, we're on that. We know Jesus was 33 years old when he died. All right, so we also know that our calendar isn't correct. So it's very potential 2031. They say that he was born before BC. I don't know that date. I'm not trying to even go back and argue that point. What I'm saying is from here, 2 hours later, is here. So there it is, guys. We're in the last hour of the last day. Run these numbers yourself. See what you get. Here, I'll just hold this here real quick so anybody wants to get a screenshot. Thanks for listening to me. I hope this helps you. We will be here during the tribulation, folks. Okay? Jesus is going to return here. Not here. That's a whole nother video. Shalom, shalom.